Well, hello there. I just received word from Mataris that he has uploaded the next chapter. It's about 11 o'clock where I am. 10 till. So if I'm a little tired, if I look and sound a little tired, I apologize. I was actually about to fall asleep when I got the message from him. Anyway, on with the story. This is chapter 26, Unity. Why do I get the next feeling the chapter's going to be named Duty and the one after that's going to be named Destiny? Anyway, to the story. Oh! He actually put it in there. If anyone can tell me what the next two... okay, I'm going to do a little review really quick. The next two chapters, ... Duty and Destiny, in that order. That's basic Bionicle lore right there, Mataris. I'm gonna laugh if anyone gets it wrong. Unity, Duty, Destiny. Those are the three virtues that the Matorans strive for. The Unimatoran and the Unimatoran and Toa Matoran represent duty. Po Matoran and Lematoran represent unity, and the Komatoran and Gamatoran represent destiny. If I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, chapter 26, Unity. So, what's my prize? Anyway, Unity. Mataris awoke in the world of Element 6 Online, at the large village at the base of the Magna volcano. He was he was in the registration area for the tournament, his armor donned and his weapons equipped. He looked around, but failed to see any of the others near him, so he said in a semi-quiet voice, "Detosh, are you there?" A small flash of light flashed in front of him. It probably could have been appeared, but either way, it works. Kind of. One just sounds better. Not my job to be persnickety over that kind of stuff. So, a small flash of light flashed in front of him, and there stood the Avmatoran. "Greetings, champion," he grinned. "I take it that we're about to embark on the quest to the bottom of the Magni today?" "Aye," Mataris nodded, opening his menu. Sure enough, my nose is freaking itchy. As soon as I scratch once, done. I'm tired. Anyway, sure enough, there were two gold masks attached to a message of congratulations from the system's GMs. One was a how, who, hi. Hi, hoo, ha! I think it's pronounced how. I don't know. If I remember right, the world of Bionicle, the language is, well, at least the names are pulled from Maori. I think it's Maori. From the Maori language, Maori. I think it's how it's spelled. I don't know. That language, if I remember correctly, actually got sued by them, I think. Yeah, for not, misspelling and misusing words and all that fun bullshit. That's why the original series stopped, if I remember correctly. That was a couple years ago, so it's kind of foggy in my mind. Anyway, one was a howl and the other was the Pakiri. Both of them in the Mata style. Mata, Matanui, the original series. Yes. Do you know where the others might be? He asked as he closed his menu. I do not. Litros. 1 second. Let me grab some soda. The last one. Oh well. Wait, I have more in the car. Hey, I'll go get those in a bit. I get the feeling I'm not going to get much sleep tonight. Caffeine. Necessary things for my survival. Is caffeine, and more caffeine. Anyway, do you know where the others might be? He asked as he closed his menu. I do not, Letrosh said with a shake of his head as he moved behind his friend and attached himself to his armored back. But I can direct you to the quest's beginning site. Please do so, Matara said as he began walking out of the door. Excuse me. Oh, that one was weak. I'm sure that they will meet us there. Letrosh nodded and gave him directions to the right area. What is this? He muttered as he walked on the sacred grounds. Why are these people here? Mataris! Sachi's voice called out from the head of the crowd. Over here! Damn nose. I may have to redo this video. If I don't, you'll see this. He couldn't see her, so he activated his jets, startling some of the nearby players. As he took to the air, he spotted his sister's armored form standing next to Lifa and Sinon, who were also equipped and ready to fight. What is going on here? He asked as soon as he landed. All these people want to get in on the quest. Sinon said, exasperated. We told them that we'd start taking applicants as soon as you got here. Wonderful. Wonderful, he muttered. Well, I don't care for any of the help. They can all go away now. None of us, eh? None of us, eh? A deep voice rumbled. To Mataris' surprise, Dragon Song shouldered his way forward, several of the players making way for him out of fear and respect. So, you would object to my assistance, then? Not at all, Mataris grinned. Though I will admit that I am surprised you want to get on this, especially after I thrashed you in the tournament. You would not have won so easily without her help, Dragon rumbled as he pointed at Sinon. And don't you forget it. I am here because I want to see the true extent of your power. I know exactly what to expect. I want to know exactly what to expect next time I face you in combat. I accept those conditions, Madar said with a respectful bow, though he kept his eyes trained on his rival the whole time. Ah! Good warrior. Now, if you take your eyes off a potential threat, then it is considered a sign of disrespect in some cultures. Mostly, older warrior cultures, the Vikings, I believe the samurai are the same way. From what I know, the European knights had a similar view on such things. I could be wrong, so again, don't quote me on any of this. I'm just remembering stuff from some of my studies. Turning to Sinon, he said, "We can add him to the list." Also, a companion of mine wishes to join you as well. Dragon added, "You fought him in the tournament. He is skilled with the blade, if you recall, despite his inferiority to your power." "Hey!" Green Toa protested. With some surprise, Mataris recognized him as Walter, the Toa that he had traded blows with directly after running into Death Kanoka for the first time. "There's no need for ugly talk. I'm not so mind-lost that I can't recognize an insult." Mataris thought back. Of the 5 contestants, he had lasted the longest against his blade in full combat. Other than Eugene, Sinon didn't count, as he had not intended on destroying her like he had the others. "Well, very well. Sign him up as well." He nodded at Sashi and Sinon. They immediately sent him a party request, which he accepted. "Who else is coming?" he asked as the crowd began to call out, each one asking to be brought along. "Dragon, make them shut up if you would," he added as he frowned at the crowd. "Gladly," he growled. Whipping out his scythe with great speed and skill, he roared, "Be silent and still! Now!" Nobody thought to question it. "Much better," he smirked. "Right," Leaf said. The big Toa uneasily. "As I was about to say, Rekon and Kurogeni will be here in a minute. I told them they didn't have to. They both said they wanted a chance to fight alongside you, and go on the unique quest." Anyway. "Alright," he nodded. "Alright." He nodded. "That should be all. Now, where do we—" "Wait!" a voice called out. It was followed shortly by 4 Toa that leapt over and landed in front of the crowd behind Dragon. The Toa of Stone went to slash them in half, but Mataris held up his hand to stop him. "Hold!" he said sharply. To the new Toa, he said, "Who are you? I do not recognize you from the tournament." "Litrosh," said the leader. The Toa of Fire said as he pointed at Mataris' avatar. "That's your familiar's name, right?" "What of it?" Mataris asked, slightly confused. "I knew I'd heard that name before!" Another one, the green and silver Toa Inaika of Air grinned. "I totally called it!" "What are you going on about?" Mataris snapped, his sword coming off his back. "I am low on patience and on time. So either make your point, or I'll point at you." He lifted his sword into attack position to punctuate his words. You're right. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. However, instead of being frightened or even startled, the 4 of them seemed genuinely amused. "As aggro as ever," the blue Toa of Water chuckled. His voice was male, which was rare for a water Toa. Because the Gamatoran, of any of the islands, are female. Pretty much the only females in the series, so. His voice was male, which is rare for a water Toa. "Come on, man. You don't recognize us?" "Your voices," Mataris said, his sword lowering, and his voice going down a few notches. You don't across his name from somewhere. Wait a moment. His eyes widened as he looked back at the red Toa. Eric? That's Toa Epsilon to you. Good to see you again, Mataris. Sorry. That's Toa Epsilon to you, he waked in response. Good to see you again, Mataris. He made sure not to use his old friend's real name, even though Mataris had used his by accident. I hope you remember Theta, Hera, and Delta. He gestured to the other three Toa, who grinned at him in return to his dumbstruck expression. Mataris, who are these guys? Xenon asked as she moved to stand beside him. They are my friends. He grinned, relief suddenly sweeping over him. He looked at the one calling himself Theta, the Toa of Water. Tybalt. The Toa of Air, Delta, who was now easily recognizable as Daniel. Lastly was a gray and white Toa of Ice, Hera, though Michael knew her better as Hannah. You all came here? He said aloud. Are these your friends from the orphanage? Sachi asked as she stepped up to his other side, Yui observing curiously from her back. Aye, he nodded. Still using that same old vocab, huh? Hera chuckled. You read too much. Says you, Mataris shot back. Okay, if any of you have read Dragon Roar, you'll know who these characters are and why they're acting the way they are. Says you, Mataris shot back. Hey, kettle and pot, Epsilon said. Can we get back to the original topic at hand? Of course, Your Highness, Mataris said mockingly. What was the point of origin? We want to help you out, Delta said. We want to join you on the quest. Do you have a specific reason? Mataris asked. Well, for starters, it'll give us a bit of a chance to catch up, Theta said. And you're our friend, man. Damn nose! We don't really need any other reason for that than that. Good answer, Mataris nodded. Talk to Leafa back there. She'll add you to the list. Oh, is anyone else coming along? It's just us, Delta answered. We'll find you in on the way into the volcano. Very well, he nodded. Dragon, Walter, make the boat go away if you would. Finally, enough of the slow talk, Walter muttered. Okay, you all heard him. Time to quick run, all of you. What are you, his bodyguard? Oh, I shouted. We all want to go. You can't seriously think you can take the quest with just a dozen of you. Let us through. An audible crash echoed through the afternoon air as Dragon sent the players skidding through the crowd with the boulder to the face. Does anyone else have an objection? He glowered at them. No one said a thing, instead choosing to leave. Very promptly. I hate crowds, Dragon muttered as he turned to see Sinon and Sachi sending Mataris the golden masks. Mataris, you captured Dragon's personality just about perfectly. Dragon muttered as he turned to see Sinon and Sachi sending Mataris the golden masks. Well then, Mataris said as he closed his menu. Shall we dance? Yeah! The others shouted, raising their weapons high. As soon as Rekon and Kurageni arrived, the party walked up the steps to the... What? I need to go buy more allergy meds or something. Anyway, as soon as Rekon and Kurageni arrived, the party walked up the steps to the Kinanui Temple, where a shrine lay in the center. As they walked, Mataris evaluated his new team members. Walter and Dragon he was already familiar with, but others friends from childhood. Epsilon had a Kirinuva equipped... Again, English is broken. Might be because I'm tired. Equipped along with a massive broadsword. His equipment was from Baramanga, or Baranui as it was sometimes called. His brother was from the same area, armed with a crossbow identical to Sinon's and a mask of X-ray vision. Hera was armed with a rapier and a thornax launcher, both one-handed weapons. Her mask was a Kadin? A mask of light. Lastly was Delta, a Toa originating from Voyanui like Sinon, armed with the Cardinui Skyblade. Midax Skyblaster, and a mask of telepathy, which enabled him to okay. Thought he got the people confused for a second. But no, he didn't. Which enabled him to detect any enemies within a Kyo radius, even if they were invisible. Of Leaf's friends, Kurogani appeared to be more capable, armed with a long katana, armor from Metronui, and a Nohi Maltrek. A mask of duplication. It was a very rare mask, though not as rare as the Olmec, and it allowed the user to create a clone of themselves. Although the difference was that the clone could not use elemental or mask powers, though it possessed the same stats as the creator. I mean, he does own a weapons and more of an armory shop than anything else. It sells both weapons and armors. Makes sense that he'd have one of those. And sure as hell can afford one. Rekon was armed with a long dagger and a mask of speed, so he was very fast indeed. But his blows would be light. Still, he had volunteered to draw the bosses out since he had the best chances of dodging the first strike. Well, he may have been a bit of a creep when it came to Lifa. He was a hardcore gamer, so Mataris knew that he would pull his own weight despite his inferior equipment. Just as he had finished profiling them, they walked to the center of the temple. The dome sat in the middle of the dark room, surrounded by 6 pillars. In each pillar was a slot for a mask. Golden masks, Mataris knew. So it begins, he murmured as he accessed his menu. He passed out the masks to different people, and set the golden Howl mask in one of the pillars himself. When all 6 were in place, a beam of light shot up from the dome, and a golden toe materialized with it. Oh, he's even bringing the Toa of Light into this. And a golden Toa materialized within it. "Greetings, Toa of all races," it said. "I, Takaduva, ask for your aid in these troubling times. The Makuta has stolen the Mask of Light, and now he guards it most jealously. I am trapped within a prison of his making, where, without my mask, I am powerless. Even now, I feel my life begin to fade. I do not know if you are viewing this while I am still alive. If you do manage to defeat the Makuta and his guardians, please return my mask to me. If, however, my time has come, I ask that you find a new bearer for my Kanohi." Shut up, Yahoo. "There must always be a wielder of light, lest the Makuta reign without opposition once again. Go now, and may the blessings of Matadui be upon you." The temple shook, and the light faded as the dome cracked and fell apart to reveal a stairway leading deep into the ground. Oh, so he's using the original Makuta entrance. Okay. "Well," Mataris said, "that was grim." Then he used his sword as a torch to light the way down into the passage. "Come along, then. Let us see what the Makuta has in store for us." The journey down actually took a surprisingly long time. Mataris spent much of that time catching up with his old friends, much to the disappointment of Sinon. Though she denied anything being wrong when Sachi asked her if she was all right. Still, Sachi was happy that her brother seemed so relaxed, more so than he had been in months. Dragon and Walter talked quietly to each other, mostly concerning possible battle strategies for whatever awaited them down below. Nifa also spoke with Kurogeni in lowered tones, while Rekon talked with Yui and Litrosh. Fascinated that the AI constructs almost seemed to be like real people. Damn nose, why is it so itchy right now? When they finally reached the bottom, a massive set of doors loomed before them. A word of warning before we go on, Matar said as he stood in front of the gateway. He turned around to face the assembled Toa. There are real lives at stake here. This mission must be cleared today, or else hundreds will go on suffering. I cannot go into all the details right now, but if you so wish, you may turn back. I will understand if you do not want to participate in this venture, knowing full well that lives are on the line. Then he waited for their responses. Well, I don't know just how badly you screwed up, but we're with you, man. Epsilon grinned. You owe an explanation afterwards, though. His siblings added their agreements, as did Delta. I have every confidence that we will accomplish our goal, Dragon rumbled. I have every confidence that we will accomplish our goal, Dragon rumbled, his voice echoing in the darkness. I am with you. High stakes or low. It will be interesting to see just how hard you fight when you must gamble so desperately. Yes, Walter nodded. Dragon here ever loves ever loves the sound of crash bang. I like watching him fight so ever hard. I am also with you. Mataris raised the eyebrow at the jocular Toa, but said nothing. I'm doing this for Kazuto's sake, Leafa said firmly. I'm with you all the way. If she goes, then so do I, Rekon grinned. Ah, Rekon the Stalker. Okay, if Klein is the comic relief / standard gamer guy hitting on every in-game chick he sees, then Rekon is the classic game stalker. Anyway, if she goes, then so do I, Rekon grinned. Hey, that's my line, Kurogeni said as he brought his fist down on Rekon's head, causing the smaller Toa to whine in pain. You know that I will always stand by you, brother, Sachi smiled. As will I, Litros said as he reattached himself to Mataris. I want to see Mommy and Daddy again, so I help as much as I can too, Yui declared, causing everyone to laugh, or in Mataris and Dragon's case, smile a bit. You promised to protect me for the rest of my life, Sinon said with a wink. How are you supposed to do that without keeping me close to you? Mataris' friends sniggered at him as he smiled at Toa of Ice. Thank you, Sinon, he said as he clanked fists with her. Then he turned to see the others all had their weapons ready, and their elemental powers primed for combat. Very well, Mataris nodded, as he took stupid tongue work. Very well, Mataris nodded as he turned to face the doors and placed his palms upon them. Let us go forth with our comrades in mind. The last part was mostly to himself, but Yui, Lidrosh, and Sachi all heard him. The room they were in was shrouded in dark fog, with green pillars lining the chamber in 2 neat rows. They looked as though stone snakes were coiled around their lengths, adding an ominous feeling to the already disturbing green light that shone within them. The only other source of light was a pool of silvery liquid from which the source of illumination could not be seen. At the end of the chamber, a gate resembling an older Kanohi How was embedded in the wall. Are you getting anything yet, Delta? Mataris asked, hoping that his friend's mask of telepathy would pick up on any lurking monsters. Oh, not yet, he said with a shake of his head. My guess is that we have to proceed to a certain point in the room before we trigger the boss fight. Mataris nodded his agreement, and they proceeded slowly to the pool of silver liquid, all senses on high alert. As they drew closer, Mataris noticed that the liquid was not contained in a single pool, but several. Two of them formed strange semi-ovals that partially enclosed 3 circles of liquid. 2 of them were about 3 yards across, while the one in the very middle was easily 7 yards in diameter. "What is this?" Mataris said as he looked closer at the symbol. It's the symbol of the Great Spirit's values, Leafa answered as he knelt by the pool. It stands for unity, duty, and destiny. Hey! She grabbed his hand back as he reached out to touch the liquid. There's energized protodermis in there. It'll dissolve your entire body, even if you just touch a tiny bit of it. Oh, sorry. Got a little distracted. Oh, Mataris said as he pointed at something floating in the pool. Then tell me what that is. Leafa stared at the object of his interest, a silver card of some kind. What? Hey, does anyone have a mask of telekinesis on them? She asked. I do, Hera said. Switch with me. She and Leafa swapped spots so that the Ice Toa could use her mask to safely extract the item. Here, she said as she levitated into Mataris' hands. Any idea of what that is? No? No, he muttered. Ludrosh, do you know what this does? Allow me to examine it, the Red Matoran said as Mataris passed it back to him. Wait, what? This is a system administrator's card. What is this doing here? Sorry, I just keep trying to read ahead, but I'm like, no, I can't. What? Mataris said as he took the card back. Can we use this to log out Kirito and Asuna if they're nearby? No, Ludrosh said. Now that you mention it. He gasped suddenly and Yui let out a shriek of surprise, startling everyone present. What was that in aid of? Dragon asked. Annoyed that he'd been caught off guard. Bloody nose, damn it. Oh, man. They're here, down below us. What? Mataris said, his gaze snapping back to the pool. Down there, are they? Oh, no, you don't, Xenon said as she held him back. Leafa was right. Jump in there and you're a dead man. Our chances of making it through this become nil. Then our chances of making it through this become nil. Ugh. But they're down there. I have to go to them. He raised his sword, startling the others, and aimed at the pool. I will not give up now. I will not give up now. Fire roared from his sword, striking the pool, producing a very much different result from what he expected. Instead of dissolving, the pool seemed to absorb his fire. What? Seriously, have you not been paying any attention? Leafa scolded him. That stuff isn't just water you can blast away. It's supposed to have mythical properties. One being that elemental powers don't affect it. You failed to mention that earlier. Fine, we'll do this the original way then. And he put his card... Fine, we'll do this the original way then. And he put his card in his inventory as he growled. I need something to hit. now. You'll get it pretty soon, I think, Delta muttered. I'm picking up on 6 non-friendlies with some pretty high stats. As if in response to his assessment, the doors that they had entered through swung shut with a loud boom. Ah, crap. Epsilon muttered, raising his sword into his ready position. That's never a good sign. Ever. No, really, Mataris muttered. What gave you that idea? Go jump in a volcano. Epsilon shot back as 6 doors opened up around the room, 3 on each side. We're already in part of a volcano. Shut up, Theta! Are they always like this? Xenon asked as she took aim down one of the doorways. Most of the time. Mataris admitted. Sorry, trying to get comfortable. I don't have a comfy, spinny chair or desk to do this at. What is it? Mataris asked over his shoulder. These mobs are no ordinary monsters. Livrosh replied. In fact, they aren't monsters at all. They're Dark Toa. What? Sachi asked. As in players? No, but they're armed as if they were, Yui replied. Also, their algorithms are much more advanced than any Rawhide in this game. And they can learn to fight us better the longer we fight them. Which means we hit fast and we hit hard, Xenon said as she fired the first shot into one of the doorways and scoring a hit on a black figure just before it could step in the room. Let the games begin, Mataris chuckled darkly. Nobuyuki, when I get out of here, there will be hell to pay. Flames blazed across his sword, and he took off with his jets to aim fire blast the oncoming mini-bosses. Litrosh, let loose at anything comes our way. Like this? Litrosh asked as he shot the dark toe of air out of the sky with the Kordak blaster. Does that work? Quite nicely, yes. Quite nicely, yes. Mataris grinned. But let's not get cocky. We still have a long way to go before we defeat these things. Two hours later, the team was halfway down on their health points, and only the Dark Toe of Air had been defeated. From what Yui and Rush were able to tell, these Dark Warriors were Makuda's attempt at recreating the Toa Mata, some of the most powerful Toa in all of existence. We won't be in any shape to take on. We won't be in any shape to take on the final boss at this rate. Dragon growled, his breathing labored. Agreed, Mataris muttered. Do you have any ideas on how to beat these things? We need a moment to think, Xenon said as she shot the toe of water in the chest. Can we get an energy dome up? In response, Mataris, Kurgeni, Dragon, and Epsilon's masks all glowed. A shield made of red, brown, and green energy was erected immediately. Even with 4 of you, that won't last long, Rekon cautioned. We know, Theta muttered as he eyed the Dark Toa, which were pounding on the energy shield with both weapons and their elemental powers. Got any bright ideas, Vineslinger? Well, he looked over at Leafa suddenly, causing her to eye with suspicion. Leafa, tell me, he said firmly. Is this just a game right now? No, it's not, she said with a shake of her head. Like Mataris said, real lives are at stake here. Kazuto being one of them. Rekon nodded firmly once. All right then. He said as he activated his mask of speed. And I'm going to make sure you guys get through to the final boss. He sped out of the shield, much to the surprise of everyone present. What does he think he's doing? Walter asked in confusion. He can't leave the boss room. But the others simply waited and watched. Leafa moved as close to the edge of the shield as she could, watching as all the Dark Toa moved to engage Rekon as he sped up to the gate that they had come from. Xenon activated her Akakunuva and shared its powers with the others so they could see what was happening down the chamber, as though it were not even 5 feet away from them. Rekon grinned at all of them before slamming his fists together and letting God damn it! Bugging the crap out of me. This is probably going to be one of my crappier videos, for obvious reasons. And letting a green glow emanate from his entire body. What kind of technique is that? Mataris wondered out loud. Oh dear, Yui gasped. Uncle, everyone, whatever you do, don't drop your shields! Why not? Sachi asked. The next instant, a blast of wind erupted from where Raikkonen stood. One so powerful that it destroyed some of the columns and nearly broke the shield generated by the 4 Nuva masks of power. When it was over, the Dark Toa were all gone, and the team had received various drop items. Hey, Rekon! Mataris called out as the shield dropped. Perhaps you could lead with that move next time? Eh? Rekon? He realized that he couldn't see the small Toa anywhere. The only thing that remained in the dark fog was a green heartstone. What in the world? Rekon, you idiot! Leafa cried out. Why would you do something that stupid? What did he do? Sachi asked as she looked in awe at the destruction around her. He defeated them all by himself. How? That was what we call a Nova Blast here in ESO, Epsilon answered. It's basically the most powerful move any Toa can use. There's a catch to using it. All of your stats get reset, and any items that you didn't lock in a chest or something are destroyed. Delta elaborated. Basically, you start from scratch after you pull that off. Honestly, a lot of gamers consider it a taboo because it takes so long to build your skill levels up. Ouch, Mataris grimaced. Well, I suppose we should make sure that his sacrifice does not go to waste. Sachi, see if you can repair your army with the Kirill, please. Delta, be sure to let us know when the next boss is approaching. Everyone, make sure to eat up and restore your health as fast as possible. Mataris? Delta said tightly. He's already coming. The assembled Toa whirled around to see the other gate open up, then admit a new figure. One that made even Mataris blink in surprise. The final boss was easily twice the size of even Dragon, the largest of the group. He was covered in dark armor that was pitted with rust and rot. So basically, Makuta is a servant of Nurgle. When you think about it a certain way. But he looked no less powerful for it. From his dark mask, 2 demonic red eyes glared out at all of them. I thought the Mask of Shadows was in Marinui? Yui said it with a very small voice. This boss, there's no mistaking it. He's wearing the Kanoi Kraken. Kraken? K-R-A-A-K... Wait, sorry. K-R-A-A-H-K-N? Kraken? Ah, crap. Theta muttered as he readied his weapon. We're so dead. Not yet. Mataris growled deep in his throat. His mask glowed ominously as he said, Keep him off of me for half a minute. I have a plan.
Run while you can, little Toa.
Makuta rumbled, his voice deeper and more guttural than even Dragon's. He pointed at the entrance with his clawed hand, and the door swung open.
The Mask of Light is going nowhere.
Ludrosh, what is going on? Matarist asked in a lowered voice. Last time this quest was attempted, the Makuta killed Eugene so fast that he had no idea what hit him. It's most likely that the system and the quest were updated since then, Litrosh answered. Though there is one thing that worries me. What is it? I cannot see his health bar. What is it? I cannot see his health bar. Taurus felt his blood freeze as he contemplated what that meant. Litrosh? He asked as the others got into position to attack. Is Makuta an immortal object? He waited for the answer, hoping he was wrong. No, Litrosh said. But one thing is now clear to me. This whole quest was never meant to be defeated. How do you figure that? Mataris asked. The chill in his back in his spine after a brief respite. The door he came through was locked by the system administrator. Litrosh answered grimly, which means that no matter what, even if by some miracle we manage to defeat the boss, nothing we do will open that door. Mataris' eyes burned silver as the words sunk in. So even now, at the footsteps to their dungeon, we cannot get in, he thought, both furious and on the verge of tears. There's truly no way. Is there truly no way for us to end? Is there no key that will permit us to... He froze in mid-thought. Mataris? Litrosh asked as the Makuta raised a massive staff and his eyes flared brighter than before. What are you thinking of? Our victory. He grinned, eyes bright and teeth bared like that of a dragon on a hunt. But first, we have to take care of that little pest. His mask glowed brighter as Sinon looked at him incredulously. Little? She repeated. We're looking at the same boss. Are we looking at the same boss? He's huge! Not after I cut him down to size, he replied, his smile becoming wider and slightly more insane. Sinon was now curious. What was he planning? When I give the signal, hit him with anything and everything, Mataris commanded, his voice echoing throughout the chamber. Brother? Sachi asked, trying to look at him. Focus on him! Sorry, not wrong one. Focus on him! Mataris shouted, though not harshly. I don't know that I can do this more than once, so I'll do as I say. Nobody questioned him again, even as Makuta advanced. Alright, dodge his first round of attacks and then retaliate, Mataris shouted as he used his equipment to fly. Listen to Yui and Litrosh. Then bursts of shadow were flung at each of them, and they were fighting for their lives. Fire is what I once was. Yeah, I thought, as I held my sword in a ready position. How I wish that I could lash out with reckless abandon, destroying everything that I touch. Never worrying if there will not be something that I cannot consume. The others dodged the shadows as best as they could. There was some inevitable hits. Only Dragon refused to give ground, instead using his massive scythe to counter the darkness. Flames burn those that try to get too close, kills those that do not learn quickly to evade its bite. However, my eyes flicked over to look at my sister, who was using her elemental powers to block the dark energy. Water calms and soothes those burns by the inferno. It quenches the eternal thirst brought on by the sun, and gives life to those that accept it. She is the soothing presence in my life, washing away the hurt from the fires of my past. My head throbbed painfully, as it had been from the very beginning. I could still feel the pain of my wounds from my battle with the second Death Kanoka. And even though I did not let the others see, I couldn't allow them to see my weakness. I had to be strong, even if only for a little longer. For them, for the ones that had been strong this whole time, without Sachi and I beside them to suffer through the long months of isolation. I would like to point out this part is written in the first person. That's why I'm reading it like this. Anyway, I looked up at the armored demon, nearly ready to unleash the power granted me by this world. They also know the loss of family all too well. Never again. My mask flashed with power and I roared. Now! Strike him down! My head felt as though it would split open from within, but I pressed on. Today, we take back that which belongs to us. The others wasted no time in unleashing their elemental powers, forcing the Makuta to stagger back, right into the massive portal that I had conjured. He roared in anger as he slid back into the vortex, but with a mighty heave, he managed to right himself, taking one step back out of the portal as he shouted, "My brother shall not be awakened!" "Shut up!" I snapped as I willed the portal to close, with Makuta halfway in and out of it. The Master of Darkness screamed as the dimensional boundaries converged on him, effectively slicing an armored form in half like he was hot butter. From his armor, a black-green mist billowed out and spread out over the other Toa, who backed away in fear of the gas. "Epsilon!" I shouted as I raised my blade. Fire billowed from my sword, quickly followed by his own elemental power. The Toa of Air all quickly caught on, and acted in a way that not even I had thought of, using the power of the winds to bring the mist together, so that Epsilon and I could more easily incinerate it. Hold on just a little longer, Kirito. Sooner, I thought, as the last of Makuta's gas disappeared. Sachi and I will be there soon. As soon as the last of the menacing gas was gone, Mastara staggered and nearly fell over, mentally exhausted. Sachi and Sinon both managed to snatch him up before he fell into the energized protodermis. They mumbled his thanks. "Mitrosh," he murmured. "The card. Use it to open the gate." "The card? What? Oh." The Matoran detached himself from Mataras' back and accessed their shared inventory. And pulling up the card, it immediately glowed and silver lines flowed into his armor body. "I've downloaded the code into my program for reuse," he explained as Mataras straightened himself. "Smart," he nodded. "Are you okay, Mataras?" "I'm fine. I just need to get some rest when this is all over." Mataras?" Delta asked. He sounded afraid to the others. "We've a problem. A lot of problems." "What now?" So if I... Oh, is the bow rock going to make an attempt? Or make an appearance? "We've got hordes of mobs coming at us. Not Dark Toa, but definitely dangerous stuff." Delta looked at each of the doors where the Dark Toa had come out of. "It looks like we're not done yet." "How many?" "How many?" Sachi asked as she readied her weapon. "Move to the door," Mataras commanded shortly. "Lidrosh is going to get..." "Shut up! Stupid email." Friggin' turn off notifications next time I do this. Move to the door, Mataras commanded shortly. "Lidrosh and I are going to get us through to the other side. It doesn't matter how many there are here." "Mataras, opening the gate will take a moment. It will not be instantaneous," Lidrosh said as he jetted towards the doorway. "We'll need to hold off whatever's coming for at least half a minute." "Oh, happy cheer," Walter groaned. "Sorry, Oops, for thinking that we were out of the water yuck by now." "You have a problem with water?" Theta asked over her shoulder. "That's just tree speak for an ugly situation," Delta said while rolling his eyes. "He doesn't mean anything personal by it." "All right, I'm opening the gate," Litrosh said as he placed his palms on the massive stone structure. "Be ready to come through." Mataras was about to respond. Oh, it's not Borak, it's Roxy. Dang it. Oh well. Roxy, you're cool too. Very varied in their powers too. Taurus was about to respond, but he was interrupted by a terrible screeching sound. What on earth was that? Uh, he asked as he looked at the doors again. Matanui preserve us, Delta gasped. Are those what I think they are? Hera grimaced. Yup, Delta grimaced heavily. Roxy. Tons of them. Roxy? Sachi asked. Picture a green-purple slug in a body with a long head, spines, longer arms, and legs. A short torso, always armed with a staff, ridiculously powerful, and extremely territorial. Sinon muttered sourly. And now there's an army of those things headed our way? Crap. How powerful are we talking? Mataris asked as the door began to slowly slide inwards. He prayed that Litrush would be in time to save them all. You don't hunt one of those things without at least 3 Toa in your party at full health, if you all want to make it out alive. Epsilon answered. Mataris, buddy, you take us to the nicest places. I try my best. He grinned. That's sad. O'Hara sighed. What was that? Nothing. Their exchange was cut off as more hisses and screeching came out of the doors. Mataris' thoughts raced as he tried to decide what to do in the meantime. Then he had an idea. Dragon, can your power collapse those tunnels? He asked hopefully. No. He said with a shake of his head. They are designated as immortal objects. Therefore, I have no power over them. Then how are we able to break those pillars earlier? Aoife asked as she gestured towards gestured at the columns destroyed by Rekon's Nova Blast. The ceiling is not an immortal object. But if all the pillars were to be destroyed, the ceiling would come down, instantly destroying everything under it. Is that so? Sachi murmured quietly. Is that so? Sachi murmured quietly. Then she mentally triggered the eject function for Yui. In that case, Del Kirito and Asunai said hi. Then she drew her blade and rushed out into the room, even as Roxy poured into the room like a massive locust swarm. That's Sachi! Yui cried out as the toe of water unleashed her power at some of the remaining pillars. Sister! Mataris shouted and tried to run after her, only to be shoved back by Sinon. Why? Don't let her sacrifice be for nothing! Sinon shouted to be heard above the noise. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know that if we don't hold these things off, you'll regret it to the rest of your days. We? He repeated. Yup. She grinned as she readied her crossbow. Right, guys? Well, it's not like we have a choice now, Walter muttered. With that, he charged into the fray, followed closely by Dragon, who said nothing as they headed for a pillar together. Hey, wait up! Leafa shouted as she took off, Kirogeni not far behind her. The 4 of them were soon swallowed up by the horde, though the pillar that Sachi had selected suddenly went down, so it was safe to assume that they were still fighting out there somewhere. The triplets and Delta all winked at Mataris before they took off. Words weren't necessary. They would see each other again soon for a proper reunion. Thank you. Mataris! Litroth shouted. If it is to be us 3, then we should go now. The Red Swordsman nodded sharply as he looked back at the gate, which was finally open. Come, Yui. They'll be fine. Okay, she said, crestfallen. She knew that they would simply respawn, but it still hurt to watch them die in any manner, especially after living through SAO. Come on, Mataris urged as he took her hand and led her into the golden light.
Let us find your parents. Let us rejoin our family. Wait, was that one part that happened to say? Omeg. Kirito. Wait, was that one part that happened a segment ago? Asuna. Where are we? Madaris. Yep, that was inside my head. That was my first publicized piece of first-person literature, and I hope I did a good job with it. Kirito. That was unexpected. Asuna. Here's something else unexpected. Why did you change the name of the story? Mataris. As I mentioned before, there will be a spin-off of this story, also called The Red Swordsman, but with a different suffix. There's going to be another crossover called The Red Slayer. Kirito. Well, what's the crossover? Mataris. Well, looks like we're out of time. Hope you enjoyed the chapter, and we'll see you next time. Asuna. Is he kidding? Another cliff? Alright, well, that's the end of this. I may end up splitting this into two parts. And this thing ran over an hour long. So, and I probably will redo the second part because I feel I got sucked. Anyway, that's it for now. Northern Warrior out. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to post this as it is. And then I'm going to split it up tomorrow. Because I'm just too bloody tired to do this right now. Sorry, guys. Hate me if you want. But the new version of this should be out tomorrow. Now, with that said, Northern Warrior out. I'm going to go fucking sleep.